Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, talking all things Jesus. So let me ask you, what if you've been loving the wrong way? What if the way that you've been taught to love is the very thing keeping you stuck in pain? What if your love for others is rooted in survival, not truth? If you've ever overgiven, tolerated mistreatment, stayed quiet to avoid conflict, or called dysfunction normal, then this video is for you. Because Jesus gave us a command most people misunderstand, and it's time we break it down for real healing to begin. So let's go to the word. In Matthew 22, verses 37 to 39, it says this: "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it: love your neighbor as yourself." Now pause. Jesus didn't say, "Love others how I love you." He said, "Love others as you love yourself." Why? Because he knew that you can only give love in the measure you've received and believed it for yourself. Let that sit for a minute. If you don't value yourself, if you talk down to yourself, if you think love means pain and striving or performance, then that's what you'll accept. And that's what you'll give to others. Now let's talk about the science of it. When you grow up with rejection, emotional neglect, chaos, or abuse, your nervous system wires for survival and not real connection. Your brain begins to associate love with fear, rejection, or control. You learn to abandon your own needs to avoid being abandoned by others. And then you grow into a woman who tolerates less than she deserves, overfunctions in relationships, mistakes attention for love, feels selfish for setting boundaries, and believes being invisible is safe. But let me say this, that's not love. That's trauma disguising itself as love. Many of us were never taught how to love ourselves through God's lens. In fact, none of us have. We were taught self-love is prideful. You're too emotional. Don't make it about you. Stay quiet, stay small, and stay people-pleasing. So we perform for love. We shrink back for love. We overextend ourselves for love, and we lose ourselves in the process. But Jesus never called you to self-destruction in the name of love. Now let's look at God's blueprint. Jesus gave us the orders on purpose in Matthew 22. First, love God with all your heart, soul, and your mind. And second, love your neighbor as yourself. So what he's saying here is, let God fill you up first. Let him teach you what love really is first. Let him heal the way you see yourself. And then from that overflow, love other people. Because when you love others without healing first, you'll pour out what you don't have. See how backwards we all have it in this world? You'll give your body, but not your heart. You'll give grace to others, but none to yourself. You'll give loyalty to people who aren't loyal to God. But there's good news. There's space to heal, and it starts with Jesus. Jesus is the healer. He is the restoration. But your healing also requires intention, honesty, surrender, and someone to walk with you. That's where most women stop. They pray, but they don't process. They cry, but they don't confront their issues. They forgive, but they never rebuild. So the cycle repeats itself over and over and over. But you were never meant to heal alone. You were never meant to guess your way through this. You need a space that honors your pain, breaks the silence, rewires your thoughts, teaches you to love yourself through God's truth, and helps you to set boundaries and rebuild your identity. Inside my 8-week coaching program, Rise from the Ashes Academy, I walk women just like you through a process that rewires the way you see love, God, and yourself. It's not just a course, it's a transformation journey. And here's what happens inside. You break the silence and confront what you've been carrying. You learn to regulate your nervous system and reconnect to peace. You break free from trauma bonds and emotional addiction and toxic love. And then you rebuild your identity in Christ and stop over-functioning for approval. Then you begin to love others from a healed place, no longer from your wounded place. Because healed women, they love differently, they choose differently, and they live differently. If this message is resonating with you, it's not an accident. God is calling you into a new way of living. He's ready to restore the places in you that never learned how to be loved. You need support, you need structure, you need space to heal fully. So book your free clarity call with me today to see if this is your next right step. You've loved others long enough, and now it's time to let God love you and let that be the foundation of everything that comes next. I'm here to walk with you, so let's rise from the ashes together, and I'll see you all on the next one.